Yeah.
Hello, I'm Aaron.
And I'm Parker.
And this is the Aaron and Parker podcast.
Episode 2. Two of, well, I mean, there was a second part to the first episode.
But this is
the
episode
second
2.
episode.
We don't know how many parts this one will be.
We probably won. I
hope.
Yeah,
because it was kind of.
I don't know what we would even have to talk about.
Episode 2
we barely
titled.
even had anything to talk about the first time, and nobody probably even listened to it.
There's a good amount of views on there.
But it's probably just your mom or something watching it.
My mom did listen to it a couple times, but not.
Well, or other family members. It doesn't have to be moms.
I don't think any of my other family members would care about podcasts or anything like that.
Well, maybe mine would. I don't know. Okay, what were you saying?
Episode 2, titled. We should just come up with a title afterwards.
I think
because this is
yeah, or beforehand. I think before we you don't have to say the title in the middle of it.
Fine. Well, anyways, we're back with another episode. It's been almost 3 weeks since the last one.
The last time we said it was going to be a Tuesday thing, but I guess it's not a Tuesday thing anymore.
We've gotten pretty busy.
Yeah, it's very busy. It's been almost 3 weeks. Did you already say that?
It's been almost 3 weeks.
Did you already say that?
Yes, I already said
sorry.
that.
Sorry, ignore that second. Almost 3 weeks.
Okay, well, we've been just going. We've had a few grad parties that we've been going to for the seniors, and
yeah, I feel so bad for them.
Still,
I still feel bad for them. That
here we go,
quarantine
again. But,
sorry, yeah, it's. I mean, it's loosened up a little bit, like going to grad parties.
Mm-hmm. I know people are still wearing masks and being respectful and all that, so that's
most
pretty
people. Most people, yeah. There was that one grad party that I went to.
I heard about that.
Yeah, I told you about that. You heard it from me.
Yeah.
And nobody was wearing masks, and I was just well, I'm gonna leave if you don't start putting a mask on.
If
right
they're
now.
not wearing masks, it should just basically be called a COVID party at that point.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it just I wish people would follow the rules, because then that way we can open up faster.
Mm-hmm.
And actually go back to college safely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because UB is putting a lot of its classes online, and I don't get anything really from online classes. It doesn't work for me. I'm a good student. I'm not a bad student. I do well in my classes. It's not that I don't work hard for it. I do work very hard, but it's hard to learn from online.
Precisely. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're expecting to teach all this stuff online. It's very. You're going in undeclared, so
yeah, I'm still figuring things out. So yeah, just figuring things out.
At Brown, they're putting more of an emphasis on freshmen, definitely. So.
Yeah.
And I still haven't found out if all my stuff is online yet.
Oh, do you have housing? Have you gotten housing there?
It's a little wishy-washy right now.
Yeah. There's lots of uncertainty. Things are uncertain.
Episode 2, uncertainty.
We don't have to decide a name in the middle of it.
I think it would be more efficient to do that. But anyways, well, since our last one, we at the moment we don't have too much to talk about, but so you just feel free again to comment anything that you think we should talk about or touch on.
Oh, yeah. We did have one comment last time. We really appreciate that.
It was
Colin Borden.
Colin Borden.
Thank you.
Thank you for your input.
Favorite color is pink. That's what we asked. We asked for your favorite color.
Yes.
So thank you. I hope you like I know it was a lot to sit through. 'Cause
Mhm.
it was, I know it was very boring, and you probably didn't want to sit through that. But thank you, Colin. We
Yes.
appreciate it, and come back for more.
Thank you for
We'll
waiting
keep
till the
doing
end,
this.
the
It's
end of the
free.
episode to do
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I mean, it's a long episode, and
Big
we liked that you did that.
big shout out to Colin
To
Borden.
Colin Borden.
That's cool. Man.
Favorite color pink.
We could make this one pink. Episode.
Why? I mean, well, we went with the blue color.
Well,
So I feel like it wouldn't really make sense to change now.
okay.
I mean, you've already had two videos with the blue color.
Anyways, grad parties. A lot of people's grad parties have been getting rained out, which is.
The weather
very-
has been like all over the place.
Let's talk
Like-
about the weather.
Well, no, I
Everyone
know
loves to
that's
talk
like
about the weather.
that's like a thing that you talk about when you don't have things to talk about. But we do have things to talk about because the weather has been
The weather is an interesting topic right
I mean,
now.
it's been hot, and then it's raining, and
Yeah.
there's like not much, not hot, but also not
Mhm.
raining that happens.
It is like these
Like-
periods, these stretches of 6 days that is like really hot, and then it rains one of the days.
Yeah, yeah. I'm looking at the weather app on my phone right now.
Mhm.
The weather app. And it's
Yes, I know.
it's 88 degrees right now, which is pretty hot. It's gonna be
Hmm
89 degrees tomorrow, which is pretty hot.
Can we get a break, please?
On Thursday, it's gonna the highest temperature. The high is 78.
Oh,
Which isn't bad. And then it's gonna be it looks like this is gonna be a good week.
Yeah.
Good week. So I think if we want to go outdoors and have fun,
Have
that's
fun.
my suggestion.
yeah. I mean,
Go outdoors this week, but not on Sunday or Monday, because Monday, that's a week from tomorrow. It's gonna be raining.
okay, that's good to know. I usually take walks every day.
Yeah,
so I usually take an hour-long walk. That's what I've been doing.
Oh, wow, that's
It's
long.
usually right when I get up. I usually take just about an hour-long walk, and I mean, it's funny. I could listen to the podcast in that time, but
Huh.
Yeah.
I used to walk, but I haven't in a while. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Huh.
I just don't like I'm about to go on a walk, but then I don't.
right.
I don't know why, but I just feel like I'm busy, too much to do. Like I feel like when I get up, it's too early to go on a walk. I'm still waking up.
Mm-hmm.
But then I wait a few minutes, and then it's practically bedtime. So where do
The
I
days
fit the
do
walk in?
fly
Yeah,
by.
they fly by, but there's so much to do also.
And sometimes it's usually better to walk with somebody.
Yeah, I mean, usually my mom will walk with me.
Mhm.
Like I usually don't walk alone. Sometimes my sister comes along, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't usually walk alone.
That's okay. That's fine. That's probably better. But no, I just like to I just take the big scenic route every morning. It's kind of like, although it's the same exact route and every day is seeming like it's the same day still sometimes,
Yeah.
it brings like a sense of control. Like at least I have this. At least I have this
Yeah.
walk.
Yeah, that makes sense.
At least I have
I
this
get what you're
greenery.
saying.
Yeah.
The greenery, yeah.
At least I have that.
Yeah, I mean there's things to do every day, for sure.
There's restaurants. I'm kind of too scared to go out to eat at a restaurant.
I don't think I could go
Hmm
to a restaurant. I like just seeing some of the pictures of some of them. It makes me so nervous.
Right.
Just seeing seeing people at restaurants.
I definitely
Yeah,
it's yeah, it's weird. People have to take off their masks just to put the food in their mouth and then put it back on. And
I think they just take their masks off whenever they're sitting down. That's what
really,
I heard. Yeah, yeah,
well,
that's
that
what my
doesn't
dad
make
told
any
me.
sense because you're
But yeah, that's what I think. That's what I think. But apparently, Cuomo said it was okay.
oh
Uh, apparently, I don't know. I mean, I'm not an expert on. I don't know. I think it's just when you're sitting down in your seat that you can have your mask off.
that's weird.
But
Does sitting down in
yeah,
the seat
I
just
mean,
magically make you?
I mean, I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. I'm not any sort
I know.
of medical professional. I'm not a doctor, not a nurse, not any sort of scientist.
A dentist.
No, that's a different thing.
Well, I'm trying to have some routine. My morning routine is pretty. I've gotten it pretty down at this point. I'll just go through my morning routine. I guess I get up at like around like 9 a.m. every day.
That's so early.
That is pretty
That's
early than
very
most people.
early.
And my mom drinks coffee. I don't really like coffee too much.
I've never been a coffee drinker.
It does stain your
Yeah.
teeth. I heard that as a child, and it kind of
Wait.
set me apart from coffee.
It like stains your teeth.
Yeah.
Oh. Ew. Ah. So like is that just if you drink it a lot, or is it like every time you drink coffee it stains it a little bit, or is it just like it's
I think-
just if you drink it like every day, right, that it stains your teeth?
I think over time, yeah, if you drink it often enough.
Well, I haven't had it in a long time. I don't like it's like I haven't had it. I don't drink coffee every morning.
Okay,
So I'm fine.
you should be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are
okay.
you worried about
No,
coffee?
no, I think I'm fine.
Well, I usually like to have my teas. Earl Black is my favorite.
It's just like wet, like I never understood tea. It's just like wet leaves. Really.
Wet leaves.
Yeah.
Well, if it's ground up, but that's different about it.
I
I
don't know.
guess-
I mean, I'm not judging anyone who drinks tea. I've
It
just
is-
never been a tea drinker.
All right.
I mean,
I think it's pretty acquired. There's so many different types
it's
of tea.
pretty bitter, I think. Yeah. There's lots of different types, like
Like,
sleepy time.
right, yeah.
Earl Grey,
Well-
chamomile.
Anyways, I get up, I drink my tea, I sit, and then I go for my hour-long walk on an empty stomach, and then I come back, and usually my mom makes something for me, but
That's nice.
yeah, it is pretty nice. And then I proceed to go on with the rest of my day. But just that tea time, not really tea time, but just tea and then a walk. I feel like I need to have that before I do anything else. What is your morning routine? Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think it's good to have variety every day, like do different things every day and not like the same thing every day. So I think it changes sometimes. Sometimes I get up and I have breakfast.
Sometimes you don't have breakfast.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, sometimes, it changes. It changes day to day. I like to have variety. It change. I mean, routine is hard. Has been hard for me lately. I do things at my own pace, and sometimes I get up in the morning.
You don't wake up.
Oh no, I wake up every morning. I want to make that clear. I wake up every morning, and I get out of bed.
But so you get up.
I,
You
it
wake up.
changes. It changes. It just changes state. I don't see why we have to be so fixated on a morning routine. I feel like lots of people can be happy without a morning routine.
Okay.
I feel like a lot of people can be happy without a morning routine.
I guess comment. What is your morning routine?
Well, I think a lot of people might get offended by that. A lot of people might not have morning routines.
Well, if they don't have a morning routine, then they don't need to comment.
Well, then I feel like they'll be excluded. I feel like they will feel like they won't be able to comment if they don't have a morning routine. Like they are being excluded from something.
Okay.
And they won't have the same opportunities as everyone else. Do you ever think about that?
Fine. Comment whatever you do in the morning.
I feel like that's a little vague, though.
Okay.
How do you? That could
Just
mean a
whatever
lot
you
of
do
things.
in the morning.
Well, that could mean a lot of things.
Sleep. Test.
Okay, fine.
Anything.
Test.
Yeah.
Okay, hold. What?
Why are you laughing?
I'm sorry. I just got this image in my head of you getting out of bed and just taking a test.
What? What?
I know that's not what you mean. That can't be what you mean, Aaron. Like I know like you're really into school.
Test themselves.
You're joking, right?
No.
You have to be joking.
No.
Like what sort of test? Like you don't mean like pen on paper,
No,
like
no,
taking
no.
a test. Like what?
I mean, some people. What do you? No, push themselves. You know.
But like I'm picturing you getting out of bed and like you're like, okay, I can't go into my shower.
Think about this. If
before I do my
tested,
math test.
If nobody tested themselves, would there be any innovation?
Why is this part of your morning routine, Aaron? Why would that be part of your morning routine
Not mine.
to test? Well, you brought it up as an example, as though that is something that
I said
you
it.
do
Yes,
every
some
morning.
people push themselves in the morning.
To do what? I'm just trying to understand, Aaron. I just don't get it.
I don't know what you don't understand.
You just... I can't get the image of you just waking up in the morning.
Okay.
And saying,
can
okay,
we move on to another
before
topic?
I brush my teeth, before I take a shower, before any of that, I have to test to see what I can do.
Not me.
Okay, but who? Who does that?
The innovator.
I don't know what to say to you, Aaron.
It's not.
I
It's
don't-
not. No, it's not like an actual test.
Okay, give me an example of what sort of test you were
Do you
talking
think
about, Aaron.
People who create new stuff and who create anything innovative.
I guess they would have to push themselves somehow.
When Elon Musk is leading this company,
What company?
you think he doesn't test himself? Okay, next we're gonna move
Like
on.
Okay, Okay, yeah, let's move on.
What's the big craze right now?
What's the big craze?
The big Hamilton. on Disney Plus.
Oh yeah, they just put that on Disney Plus, didn't they? Wait, that was at the beginning. That was a beginning of the month.
Yeah.
Huh.
I remember first hearing about Hamilton back in I think freshman year.
Oh yeah, like Heather was like really into
Yes.
that. Oh, sorry, I didn't.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
want
yeah.
to.
So it's fine.
I don't want to ever like make you revisit old uncomfortable. Yeah. Are you okay, Aaron? Oh,
It's fine. No, Heather would she was really big into musicals, and I guess Hamilton was a thing that she was
Well, yeah, and our freshman
And I
year
was, like-
when it was like big, right? Like the beginning of our freshman
yes,
year.
and I was thinking, wow, this big historical landmark of American history, this is put to music, and there's drama involved apparently. How I don't know how.
Well, no, I actually
Seems pretty straightforward, actually.
I did see it. I did watch it on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Because I was interested in it because like everyone was talking about it. I had like a few, and at UB I had a few friends in the theater program. So they were like, "Hey, you should watch this," and I said, "Yeah, I'll watch it." So I watched it. And I thought it was really good. I thought it was because like I'm not a person who does I don't listen to a lot of rap music, and like sometimes it being like rapped the whole way through basically that bothered me a little bit, but I think it's also really important to have a story, to have this story told by these people in this way, to bring the story of this great founding father to the forefront, especially now. I think.
Especially now. Why are the founding fathers bad?
Well, I mean, like a lot of people. There were a lot of. I mean, a lot of them were very problematic. I mean, like
Yes.
Jefferson. I mean, they said in Hamilton that like Jefferson's like a bad guy.
Right.
And I'm sure.
I mean,
I'm sure there were things that Washington did that weren't great, but like what matters is like the vision they had for this country, and it's important to remember that.
Yes, I do agree. They do
from the
play the
beginning.
devil's advocate, of course, with highlighting little Jefferson's weaker points while also like acknowledging that he wrote the Declaration of Independence and.
Oh yeah, but I mean you can't paint with a big paintbrush.
Correct.
You can't. What's the saying? With a paintbrush. There's some saying. Well, you can't say anyone's like
college is
black
like
or white. It's not black and white. Things aren't black and white. Morality isn't just one color and another color. So I think it's like no one was perfect. People did good things and bad things, I think.
right.
Yeah.
However,
I mean-
I know it is a piece of art and it's something to be enjoyed. However, the inaccuracies that people seem to look over really irk me.
Well, minor inaccuracies are fine
Well,
if you're
I
telling
feel
a
like
story.
if they're going to label this as it's based on this man's life and what happened and history, you can't change history.
It's minor like details that are tweaked a bit. Like like what year something happened in. It's just minor
What
things
year?
like that. Like,
Why would you change what year?
I looked this up actually. Because I don't want to spoil you for it if you haven't seen it.
I know what happens.
Oh, okay. So when, this is a spoiler alert for people who haven't seen Hamilton, and don't want to be spoiled for what happens in it. So in the musical, it's like, Philip died in the duel, before the election of 1800, but in real life it happened after. But they had to put it before for dramatic purposes, and that's fine. That doesn't change the meaning of these people's lives.
It is quite strange when I think Thomas Jefferson states, "Can we get back to politics after Philip dies?"
That's funny.
Are they? Is
It's
death?
for It's for comedy. I know you like. This is probably one of the only musicals that you're familiar with, but if you want to keep an audience engaged, things can't be like completely realistic all the time.
But I feel couldn't they just switch the 1800 election with Phillips?
Okay, but you have to follow the arc of a story.
If they're going with Hamilton's ups and downs, they can.
If you have Philip die in the middle of the election,
you have Philip die. He did die in the middle.
If you have him die after the election of 1800, then you take focus away from Burr.
Focus.
It's a piece of media. It's a piece of
if it was
art.
fiction. It just seems.
It's not. It's important to blend the minor inaccuracies with the great story and uplifting story that there is to tell about the life of Alexander Hamilton.
It is very uplifting.
There are some bits that need to be tweaked to tell the story in its most effective form for an audience today, I think.
Okay, but if people are going to say it's based on it, I think it should say Hamilton, an American musical with some inaccuracies.
Well, when you go watch a musical, it's to be assumed that there are some inaccuracies. There's some suspension of disbelief. There's some.
But
there are plenty of historical musicals, right?
I guess Les Miserables.
Is that historical? I've never seen it.
You've never seen it?
I've never seen Les Miserables.
You never read it?
No, I've never read it. I know it's a thing, but I've never seen it.
I didn't read the whole thing by Victor Hugo.
Oh.
But
it's long, isn't it?
It is very long.
Very long.
It's very long, and I understand it was actually not based. It's not entirely based on the French Revolution.
Yeah, that's so. But it's a great work of art. There were some inaccuracies. There's some things that are tweaked for the purpose of conveying a message to an audience better.
I feel like that's why I don't like Les Miserables as well.
Oh. Well, I mean, I've never seen it, so I can't comment on that. But but when you go to a musical, you know that these actors are here to tell a story, and that story, it might to tell the best story, you can't always go with like what's the most realistic or like what actually happened.
Well, then they could just make their own story.
Well, but if it wouldn't have gotten the message of the authors across if it was just the plain life of Alexander Hamilton with no inaccuracies. That's
well, they could still dramatize it.
But it's still a very important story to tell.
Yeah, they could, of course, still
It's
dramatize it while keeping things in check.
but well, they did keep things mostly in check. The dramatizing was what made the slight inaccuracies, because you can't dramatize it without having some inaccuracies. That's true of anything. Like there are no situations that happen in musicals that would like actually happen in real life. Like take Guys and Dolls. That was the first musical I saw. Do you think anything like what happened in Guys and Dolls would ever happen in real life? No, because it's there to tell a good story.
Guys and Dolls.
I told you about that. I saw it at UB.
Right. Yes. 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 That was 3 weeks ago almost. I heard about that.
Yeah.
But why? What is Guys and Dolls?
Oh, well, it's about a bunch of gamblers, and the gambler says, I'm gonna give you $1,000 if you can take missionary to Cuba. And he does, and he does it.
And you
and
said this is one of the best musicals ever.
No, I mean I haven't seen that many musicals, but it was hilarious. It was like really, and like the songs were, like, I know it's like classic Broadway or whatever, but they were really catchy. They were effective, and I loved it. I mean, it's one of the only musicals I've seen, so
there you go.
but I can't imagine that there could be many better than it. It was perfect. It kept me engaged the whole time. I loved it.
Granted, with all this stuff, a little disclaimer: I've not watched the entirety of Hamilton, so I guess I don't have the full authority to be talking about it in this manner.
Yeah.
However, the one thing I do respect about Hamilton are the motifs that the composer puts in there for each of the characters and how they build and how they develop over time.
I don't, you know me, I usually don't I don't pay attention to that much stuff, but I think without that it's a really good
Aaron
story.
And I get with what they're saying with Aaron Burr being the person who waits for things to happen, and I really found it interesting how his motif kept the simple like ba 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 ba, like that's it, just keeps repeating like it's an endless loop and it doesn't go anywhere.
I never noticed that. That's really interesting, Aaron.
Thanks.
Wow. But regardless, it's just a great story to tell, and I think it's important to resurrect the founding fathers like this. Like.
Yeah.
Like I mean, we're at a point today where we're so divided, and it's important to recognize that we all came from the same dream, the same.
That's a weird way to put it, but
Well, I know it sounds corny and it sounds idealistic, but it's important to hold on to that hope, like of what the founding fathers wanted for the country.
I do understand why Hamilton is successful and why it deserves to be showcased. But the problems with it are minor, I guess. But you can't get a ticket to that. Not now.
Well, especially not now. You can't get tickets to anything, really.
Wow, it's like
at all.
Remember when there were movie trailers and stuff like that? There's not been any movie trailers recently.
I haven't been to the movies, so I haven't been able to see trailers.
What was? I remember the last movie I saw as I went with my little cousin to see the Aladdin remake.
I didn't actually get a chance to see that, Mom.
Oh
How
yeah,
was it? How was it?
I found it fun. I think Will Smith was a great genie, um, genie, genie. I found it to be it's a fairy tale, so but it definitely the original was more expressive and
I still haven't seen the original.
you haven't seen
I've
the
never
original
no,
Aladdin.
I haven't seen any Aladdin.
I watched that as a child.
I didn't watch it as a child. That's why I've never seen it. I don't know. Everyone seems surprised when I tell them I've never seen Aladdin, but no, I haven't.
Do you remember what the last
never
movie you
seen
saw
Aladdin.
was?
The last movie, like in theaters?
Yeah,
The last movie I saw,
I know. It took
Oh,
me
I
a while
saw-
to think back.
I saw Endgame. Was that the last one I saw?
Avengers.
Avengers, yeah, Avengers Endgame. Was that? Well, when was that?
I watched that at home.
How long? Hold on. This is gonna mess up with my mind. I can't remember when it came out. I'm gonna look it up.
I think it was last year. Avengers Endgame.
Release
Yep.
date. Yeah, it was last year. So that I think it was the last movie I saw.
It's fun. I know.
I feel like there was another movie I saw around Christmas time.
Superheroes intrigue me a lot.
Yeah, they're fun. Yeah, I remember you used to be like really into them.
Yes, I remember
Like
you
when we
used to
were
be
younger.
Yes.
Except, I mean, you know this, like how I was always, my thing with Rocket Raccoon, that was the only thing. I don't know what it was about him. Do
you want to explain to people who don't know?
I mean, it's just this weird thing, but like, Rocket Raccoon, like the raccoon from the movie, you know, from the movie. Which movie was he in first?
Captain
What was
America?
the first? No. What was the first movie?
Avengers.
No, I don't think it was. What was the? It was like a. The guy from Parks and Rec was in it.
Jurassic Park.
No. The superhero movie.
Oh shoot! I shouldn't Google.
No,
Raccoon.
I'll look away. I'll
You
look
can
away.
look
I'll look away.
Rocket Raccoon movie. Why are there so many memes? Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Sorry,
Oh yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, Rocket Raccoon. That's I don't know why, but when I saw that movie, I was terrified of him. Anytime he came on screen, I would just have to look away, because I still can't explain it, but there's still this psychological terror in the back of my head anytime I like see a picture of Rocket Raccoon.
This humanoid raccoon.
I don't know what's so scary about him to me. Like, I mean, he's like most humanoid animals don't bother me that much.
I mean, the CGI was pretty alright.
Yeah. It looked pretty real, but not way too real to where it's uncomfortable. And I don't think there was anything wrong with his personality, like what he did that scared me. I mean, didn't he have like a gun or something?
Yeah.
He had some sort of weapon.
I mean, a raccoon with a gun.
I wasn't threatened by the weapon. I think, I don't know. He just his essence, it just freaked me out. I didn't like to think about it. Like, I couldn't stop thinking about it for weeks after I saw the movie. I'd like lie in bed and.
It's a 2014 film.
Yeah.
So how you were 7? So it was 6 years ago.
Yeah, so I was probably only like 11 or 12.
12.
Yeah, I was only 12.
And I guess that could be frightening. Did you see it in 3D?
No, it was regular D.
So it wasn't popping out of the
So
screen at you. Or
no,
anything.
no, he was just there, but I felt
You felt
I don't know.
threatened by the.
Every time I looked out my window
Well, it's not.
for
It's
for the next few weeks, I would just feel like I could see Rocket Raccoon, and sometimes I could like hear his voice in the back of my head. Like,
well, I mean, it is.
I'm gonna get you, kid.
It's
That's
just
what he said.
it's just a character. I mean,
I know, I recognize that Rocket Raccoon is just a character, but I had a lot of bad experiences with him as a child, so I don't. That was my only issue with Avengers. Once they put Rocket Raccoon in Avengers.
what about when you see a real raccoon in real life? Do you get
those
that
are
same
fine?
feeling?
Those are fine.
Just
I
Rocket Raccoon.
Don't mind them. Yeah, I, as I said, I don't know what's wrong with me. It's just the energy he gives off is just terrifying to me.
Mm.
Just everything, like the way he is. That's the only
Is he
way
mean?
I can describe.
Is he nice?
No, not the way he acts. Just the way he is, how he exists, how he occupies space in the world.
Let me just. I forgot what he. Let's see. Let's look up some rock. Let's look up some clips from Rocket Raccoon.
Like how much this is gonna hurt.
Oh.
What's a raccoon? What's a raccoon? It's what you are, stupid. Ain't no thing like me except me. Let's think.
Ain't no thing like him sometimes.
I think. I don't know. Like, what is he? What is he? How did he get there?
Is he an alien?
What is
Do you
like-
think there are other? I mean, this is an off topic, but do you think there are like other animals out in other planets in the universe that could talk? Like, I mean, the same capabilities
said-
as humans.
Well, he said there's
know it's
nothing
science
like
fiction,
me. There's nothing like me but me. So, I don't know. I guess he's not supposed to be here. He's not right. He's not.
Not right.
He's not supposed to be like that.
Well, it is. That's just
He's-
how they created him.
Well,
But-
no. But why? Why is he like that though? Why is this? Why is this what Rocket Raccoon is?
I have no idea. Beats me. But I guess you'll have to take that up with the.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna be thinking about this for a while again. I don't
Why
know.
is Raccoon the way that he is?
Yeah.
I don't know. Why is anything the way that it is? Why
Yeah,
is
that's-
why? I mean, it's more of a how than a why, I guess. That's the real question.
Well, I mean, I usually don't think about this type of thing. It's just with Rocket Raccoon.
How did this all happen? I mean, I do get existential sometimes, but not with Rocket Raccoon, but more so I lay awake at night and I look out and I realize how, I mean, we're very insignificant, and when people say what is the meaning of life, I think you can definitely give it your own meaning. There's not one set meaning to life, but
I
to
I
Rocket.
like to remain hopeful that there is something. I mean, I've gone through a lot of things, but I feel like there has to be some reason to them. There has to be something that I'm working towards.
I think that's just what
some form of growth.
humans try to apply a lot of meaning to things that don't have much meaning, and sometimes that gives people joy, and sometimes it drives people crazy. Sometimes both. But I think it's not too harmful to believe in.
Yeah, I just don't know how. I don't know how I would like go on if I didn't think that there was something that this is all building towards. You know, that
Building
there's some
towards.
sort of progress going on.
Like somewhere else, or
Well, just like with my life, that there isn't that this isn't building towards progress for me. Because, I mean, there has to be.
I mean, for all we know, you could end up dying, and then the first thing you see is Rocket Raccoon.
I don't want to think about that, okay?
Yeah.
But I feel like there... I don't know. I feel like you have to go through hard times to really grow, and I feel like there has to be some good growth that happens at the end of every hard time.
I think there is.
I hope.
I think no matter...
I do hope. I'm hopeful. I try to be hopeful about everything in some way.
I feel like no matter what, there's always a lesson to be learned with anything, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I think there's a difference between giving something meaning and learning something from learning something.
Yeah.
I mean, like giving something meaning is what you want it to be, but learning something from some event or something is different.
There has to be a reason for everything that happens, because then if there isn't, then why does it happen? Like, why
people are like, I mean, people are like little cogs in a giant system.
I don't want to believe that it's all just random and part of the system, and that I just happen to get the short end of the stick, and I'm not gonna, like, it's not things, like, I'm not gonna, like, just, I'm not gonna get everything I ever, like, wanted. I don't want to believe that it's, like, I just happen to like, have a bad life, and there's nothing I can do about it, and there's no reason for that.
Well, I guess not believing there is a reason gives you more incentive to work harder.
How much harder do you want me to work? I feel like I've been working as hard as I can.
Well, do you feel unlucky?
I do feel very unlucky. Yeah, I feel that I've been extremely unlucky for pretty much my whole life. So I feel like there has to be some end goal to that unluckiness. There has to be something that unluckiness has been directing me towards. I know there is. So I just don't know.
I mean,
that's gonna happen.
What if your biggest goals in life? I guess we've never talked about ourselves too much. Maybe we should start doing that.
I just realized that we don't, like, we started this podcast and you barely even know who we are.
I guess over the course of these podcasts, we'll start talking more about ourselves.
But my main goal in life, I just be happy with someone. Settle down in a nice house in the suburbs, maybe some rural area, and just live there with my wife, and I don't care what we're doing.
All right.
That's pretty much it. I just
whenever I see achievable.
Whenever I look towards my future, at any moment past adulthood, there's always someone there with me in everything that I see for myself in the future.
Always someone.
Yeah.
Huh. Wow.
It's always been like that. Like, anytime I've tried envisioning what job I'll be doing when I'm like 40 or 50, I can't picture the job. I can only picture
the people
coming home at the end of the day to my wife.
I guess that makes sense. I mean, I guess in the future you look forward to things that you'd want to do rather than stuff you don't.
Yeah.
Like a job. I mean, most people don't specifically love their jobs, but of course you can love your family.
Yeah, I've always wanted a family.
Like, well, you know what?
If that's, kids. I think that's my main goal, I guess.
If that's your goal, then, he said it here. Parker wants to start a family, so I guess if there's any way that this can.
Well, no, don't do it like that.
Well,
Don't,
you
it's-
said
it
you
sounds
wanted-
like a cry for
You
help.
said you
No, I
wanted
don't.
to achieve your dreams.
I don't.
I'm
just
trying to
want
help
someone,
you achieve your dreams.
I don't want someone, just random listener, to think I'm desperate and like trying to go on a podcast to find someone to.
Well,
start
maybe
a
you will.
family
Maybe
with.
you'll
Like,
find. Maybe
it
someone
has
will
to happen
comment. I
naturally.
mean, if you think everything happens for, if you think there's a lot of reason, then this podcast could be the gateway
I
to you
think
finding someone that you're going to fall in love with.
It has to happen organically. I will fall in love when I fall in love, and when that happens, I will be ready for it. But I won't. I can't be the one to make it happen.
Well, just as a little, just as a little. Hey, here it is. Here's Parker. If anyone.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine with where I am in life.
Helping hand.
I'm fine. I'm fine being single right now. Like I don't like I see like a lot of my friends in relationships, and that I mean it seems like it's nice. I can say good for them, and I think it's great for them, and it looks like they're really happy in relationships. But right now I'm fine just being. I've been learning to just be by myself and not have someone with me, because for so long I've just defined myself by who I'm with, and I think I need to stop doing that, because I'm like, really, I wouldn't object to being in a relationship, but I'm not like actively seeking out a relationship. I mean, it would be really nice to like have someone, just I don't know, someone to talk to all the time and like share moments with, and go on long walks with, and I don't know, just hold hands with, and just have someone there, someone who I know is there all the time,
But you
who I
said you're
can
fine
text
right now.
anytime. But I'm fine being.
Are you
Right
s-
now, I'm
are
fine
you
being.
sure
sick.
about
I'm just.
that?
I think it's. For right now, I need to be by myself. Without someone, without some. Well, not completely by myself, but without someone always there. Because like when you're in a relationship, there's always that feeling in the back of your mind, like, oh no, this person is always connected to me, and no matter what I'm doing, they're always gonna be there.
Well, unless you're separated from them.
Well, no, I mean like not physically there, but emotionally there.
Well, unless
like
you're-
you, when you're in a relationship, you always know that this person is connected to you emotionally.
Yes.
And you don't.
Well, unless you're not together with them. I mean, you could. There's always divorce.
Well, I mean, while you're together, you're constantly connected emotionally. So you're always worrying, how are they feeling?
Yes.
There's a constant worry, or what will they think of what I'm doing, or why haven't they texted me yet, or should I be texting them, or there's always this nagging feeling of dread when you're in a relationship. So
And do you think you would place that above feeling in love? What's worth it?
Well, I mean, of course it's worth it to be in love with someone. I mean, that nagging feeling's always going to be there. I mean, it's there with anyone you talk to. You always have those worries with anyone you talk to. That nagging, am I doing this right? What do they think of me? What are they thinking about me right now?
Well,
I guess it could be
to lower that, you could work on your self-confidence?
Well, no. It's just that feeling's always gonna be there. So I feel like might as well also be in love with the person, and that amplifies those worries.
Okay.
But at least you know that they're in love with you until they stop being in love with you, and at that point, then you just move on. So that's why it's so much
very
more.
sad.
No. I mean, I'm just at a point. Like, being in love is great, but it's not for me right now. Right now, I am taking time for self improvement.
Okay.
And I'm fine being single.
All right.
That's fine.
I hope in that way you can eventually get to what you want your dream to be.
Yeah,
With the self-improvement.
I know that there's someone out there.
There is
for me.
time.
I know.
I know. And it seems like with everything going on with Corona, it doesn't seem like there's time for any, like, that time is moving correctly right now, but it still is.
Yeah. I mean,
And if that's your dream, that's...
I'll be going back to college in less than a month, so maybe, I mean, things happen at college. I'm sure things
happen at college,
Things,
good or bad.
Yeah, things do. I mean, things happen quickly at college. I mean, well, especially like in your second year, I've heard, because the first year is just like getting to know things, and everyone's like really shy and awkward. But in your second year, I know that's when things are gonna go fast.
Mm-hmm. I hope the second year can happen.
Yeah,
it can go well for us.
Yeah,
I feel like that's a good dream.
I hope so. So. What are your goals? I never asked you what your goals were.
My goals,
getting to know each other.
In short, one of my big goals is to be known for something.
That's a good goal.
And I don't know what that is yet. It could be, oh, that's Aaron Newton. He's the man who wrote this, or he's the man who created this, or something along those lines. But I feel like, for me, I guess like Hamilton, leaving some mark that someone can pick up, or someone can interpret, or someone can build upon. And I also want to keep studying music and working on my linguistic skills and all that. But I've never really thought of being a teacher. It has crossed my mind a few times, but I feel like I wouldn't be able to focus on something that I could create if I was a teacher. But
I feel like I don't feel like I need to leave my mark or do anything big. Like, a lot of people want to be remembered and be famous, and I don't get that. Because then you leave something behind for people, but then you're just gone. You don't ever really experience that. So I just want to leave my mark on one person. That's all I want. That's really all I want. And I don't get when people say that they want to leave their mark. I'm not like that. I just want to change one person's life and make one person's life better.
I feel like
that's all.
I feel like, and I hope that everyone, if they're a good person or a bad person, I hope that people have a bountiful and fulfilling life. So if that's what you want for a fulfilling life, then
I think that
by
will
all
be
means.
fulfilling. Yeah, I don't think you can be fulfilled from like being famous and being known and leaving your mark. It has to come from love.
Teenagers, I guess we're still teenagers thinking about love.
Oh yeah. I mean, we have time to go out into the world and experience things more.
Right. And we also have ourselves.
Ourselves. Yeah.
Whatever you want to get from that. I mean, we do have a few more. We could just run through a few more questions to learn about.
Yeah, getting to know your questions.
At the end of this podcast.
Yeah, so that you know more about us for future.
And if you want to do something, if you want us to do something, talk about anything else, again, comment.
Please put it in the comments. Put it in the comments. We don't have ideas. I know not many people are watching this, probably no one will watch this episode after the first episode is so long. But yeah, you can.
Let's see. We found this on this website. Let's see. We already answered that one. What was the last movie you went to?
Which one is that?
That's number 14.
Why did you go to number 14 first?
Okay, let's start with number 1. Who is your hero?
My hero? Oh. Right now I'm just thinking superheroes because we were talking about superheroes earlier. But my not superheroes, so my hero. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. My hero is Nick. My friend Nick. He was. I think he's what we all strive to be. When he went through so much, at such a young age, and he always persevered, and he always had hope, and I really appreciate that about him, and I think that's where he gave me a lot of the hope that I still have now. So I'm gonna say, yeah, Nick, our friend Nick.
Yes.
For those of you who don't know, he's our friend Nick. Yeah.
That's very. Yeah. That is very kind of you. Yeah.
Yeah. He was sick. He was sick for a while. So, and he got through a lot.
Yes.
So I think that's a hero. Yeah. I just think so.
I would of course deem Nick hero worthy.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Not all heroes wear capes, even though he did sometimes for Halloween and stuff like that. He loved superheroes too. That's why he sometimes wore capes for Halloween, for superhero costumes.
Well, I haven't thought about this specific thing in a long time. But I would say my hero is F. Scott Fitzgerald.
Oh yeah, of course.
I mean, it just always goes back to The Great Gatsby.
Yeah, of course.
It's not. I haven't really focused on that book in a while. I feel like that was really defining for my high school experience. And
yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
Too much.
Too.
I mean, come on, you read it like 3 times before we even were supposed to read it in class junior year. And I don't know how many times you read it after we read it in class junior year.
It was only 3 more times, but
that's. I mean, come on. I feel like that's a little bit obsessive.
A little bit obsessive.
Like
people watch their shows over and over again. Why can't it be the same with a piece of literature?
Well, the thing is, I feel like you kept comparing yourself to the characters in the book, and I don't.
That was just a thing I used to do. Yes, that was the thing that
I don't think you're supposed to compare yourself to Jay Gatsby. I don't think that's who you're supposed to
compare
be comparing yourself to.
Themselves to Alexander Hamilton, and he got shot as well.
Well, you just spoiled the end of The Great Gatsby for everyone.
I spoiled Hamilton.
Well, okay, but we said a spoiler alert for Hamilton. We didn't say a spoiler alert for Great Gatsby.
Great Gatsby, nothing. No.
I feel like you.
Yeah, but he could just get shot, but he doesn't have to. People who get shot don't always die.
That means nothing in this scenario. So, but the problem was you
No,
saw the Gatsby guy, Jay Gatsby, as completely
this is not
like
the question. It was
as
who is
not
your hero?
a problem. Yeah, and you said F. Scott Fitzgerald.
F. Scott Fitzgerald.
And you were talking about how it was definitive of your high school experience, so I
That's it.
expanded on that.
Okay.
That's what happened.
I did not. I know I used to do that, but number 2, if you could live anywhere, where would it be?
I mean, I know. Thinking about it, I think I would have to say right here in Mill Meadow, of any place in the world, because if I had not lived in Mill Meadow my whole life, and if I were not still living in Mill Meadow right now, then I wouldn't have had any of the experiences I've had, which should be a good thing, but I still have to think there's a reason why I was put in Mill Meadow. There was a reason why I was put in such a place where so many bad things have happened and where I've been so miserable for so much of my time there. I feel like there has to be a reason why I was born in Mill Meadow and why I've stayed here, except for when I left for UB. So I feel like Mill Meadow is the place I have to be.
Okay.
I just have this feeling that something is
I mean,
here
have
for
you
me
heard of
still.
anything that's been like in the news about Mill Meadow lately? Is anything big gonna happen, or just you have an inkling?
No. I mean, nothing really happens in Mill Meadow. Well, that's not true. I guess it feels like nothing happens in Mill Meadow, but there's always something going on, I'm sure. But
It is
I feel
always
like
worrisome.
I feel like this is the place I'm supposed to be. I really feel like
I guess if it's
I don't know.
a place with so much suffering, you could make new memories here, and
I feel like it doesn't always have to be a place of suffering. I feel like the suffering had to happen so that Mill Meadow could become a place that I look back on as my only true home. And I just have this feeling deep down that there's something here for me still.
all
I don't
right.
know, something that hasn't happened yet, something big waiting for me in Mill Meadow.
That's
I don't know.
really intriguing.
I can't imagine living anywhere else. I mean, I don't know how to explain it, but my time at UB has felt like, it's felt like a different person when I'm at Buffalo. It feels like I'm not Parker anymore.
Who
It
do you
feels
feel
like
like?
I feel like a stranger. I don't know who I am at Buffalo. I know who I am at Mill Meadow. I know where I've been and what I've had to go through, and I feel like I have a better idea of where I'm going in Mill Meadow.
Where you're going, even though nothing's happening.
But I know something. I have to trust that something will. I just have this feeling.
I guess.
So I feel like I will probably come back
Feelings are
to live here
important and
after
valid.
college, and I feel like I'm gonna end up in Mill Meadow. I feel like I'm gonna end up in that. I've always wanted to live in that little neighborhood, like out by the school, like past the football fields where there's like that
yes.
line of trees, and then there's that nice little neighborhood. I've always wanted to live there.
Really?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
It's just a feeling you've had? Nothing's drawn you
I don't
to it
know,
specifically?
The houses there have always they're just really nice, and I don't know, I would always bike by there whenever I bike to school, and I don't know, everyone always looked happy. It looked normal. It looked like normal. This is how people are supposed to live. And I don't know, that stuck with me. Like, this is the picture of what a suburban neighborhood is supposed to be.
Yeah.
and I don't know. That's I mean, well, anywhere in Momento would be fine to live. There aren't really
If you want
many
to.
bad places to live in Mill Meadow per se. I mean, there are some places that aren't that desirable.
Right.
But
I mean, if the question was, yeah, if you could live anywhere, and if this is the place that you feel emotionally attached to,
yeah,
corresponds with what you want to.
I think
Have
this
happen?
is where I'm supposed to be.
Okay.
What about you?
Probably an apartment complex near Providence, Rhode Island, so I could be closer to my school.
Oh,
I mean, that's just it. I want
like you always want to be near Brown, like for the rest of your life.
Oh, for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I was looking
Wow.
towards the future, like where I will want to be.
I would maybe say somewhere on the West Coast.
The West Coast, like
I mean, I've always
California or Oregon.
California, maybe. I think definitely I as I said last episode, I'm more of a sunset person. I definitely think the sunsets there would draw me. I mean, that's a plus, but
Okay.
I mean, the life
get
there
that, yeah.
is the life there is either luxurious or not. So it's I think that would be a safe bet.
Yeah, sure. I get that.
Maybe we could do one more question.
Yeah, just one more question. Just one more. Yeah.
What is your biggest fear? Number 3.
One
One last
one
question.
fear, one big fear. My biggest fear. I mean, I don't know, I have a lot of fears, but I don't know how you can classify one as the biggest. Like, I don't know. How do you rate fears? Like, how do you say which one is the biggest? Because you feel them all so intensely. So how do you say what your biggest fear is?
I guess the first fear that pops into your head, I mean, it doesn't have to be, it could be a literal physical fear that you have.
Biggest fear, being alone. That was the first thing that popped into my head. Isolation. Being the only one, like just knowing no one is there for me. That's my biggest fear.
That is terrifying. Imagine a world where you're the only person on the planet. Yeah.
That's sort of the thing. Like, I mean, even if it's the same world with and there aren't any problems, like, just to not have anyone to share it with or go to for help, that's scary. That's really, really scary. I don't know if it's my biggest fear is the first thing that came to mind, so I might think of something later.
Yeah.
And if I think of something later, I'll say it in a later episode, but I
Okay.
don't. That was just the first thing that came to mind.
This
It's
is
not necessarily my
we can
biggest fear.
continue this list anytime or anything.
And anytime, or not,
We can
if we don't
continue
want
it
to.
next episode.
Or if not, if we don't want to.
Mine is kind of similar. It might be losing my mom, like, sooner than normal. That's it.
Oh, yeah. Well, that fear does make sense for you. And
I
for
mean,
your mom,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
It makes sense that that's a valid thing for you to.
Yeah,
be
it's
afraid
just
of,
she
but-
has. Of course, she shaped me into the person I am. I mean, how could she not have?
Yeah.
I'm glad I am the way I am because of her, and
Yeah.
there's a lot to it, but that's in short,
Yeah.
that's it.
I know she's had some health problems in the past, so it makes sense that you would fear her
Hey.
dying somehow. But
That's correct.
wow.
What a good
that's
note to end on, I guess. But
morbid.
not morbid, but you know what? There's always time that we have now, and
Yeah, of course. And there's
whereas we could have more.
always things that we could do.
We've had some ideas of other things we could do. We could do what it's called a let's play of a game.
Oh yeah,
of a
yeah,
video
a video
game.
game where you
I've
play
played-
a game, a video game and people watch.
We could do that. We could just play any game on this podcast. Not a video game, but just any word game or question game like this.
Yeah.
Any suggestions that you have, please leave them in the comments. We would really appreciate it. But for now, that's just about it for this week. It might happen next week.
Yeah, who knows?
We hope that it does. So
Yeah, whenever we're, unless we're too busy.
So that's just about
Unless
it.
we have too many tests to take. If it's too early in the morning and we have to take our morning test.
I said that's not what I meant.
It's just so funny to me. I'm so sorry. It's the vision of you. I can't get
That's
it out
not
of my head.
literally
You go
what
in
I
the
meant.
morning and, getting up in the morning and saying I have to take my test. It's
to push
funny.
to push oneself to strive for something new.
As part of your morning routine. That's
Not mine. Well, Parker,
I think that's all we have.
This has been episode 2
Yeah, of the Aaron and Parker podcast.
of the Aaron and Parker.
Come back next time. I really have to pee. Oh my god.